side and let me share the screen. Any questions, any issues, any doubts, any challenges? I guess 2 persons completed the assignment. One is Kusuma and another one is Praneeth. Okay. So changing the server name, after that patching the SQL server, that is the assignment. Any other people completed the assignment? And how many of you are completed patching, guys? Let me share my screen. Rajesh, okay. Just patching, right? Only patching. Server name.
And patching also.
Patching and have patch, and you have removed the patch also.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good, good. Done. How many of you have completed patching after changing the server name? That assignment. How many of you? I know Kusuma and Praneeth completed, and Kusuma completed early. Fire. Okay, good. How many of you completed patching? At least patching. At least patching. Let me lower down your hands first. Let me lower down. Where is that option? Yes. Okay. Yes, guys. Tell me, guys, how many of you completed patching? At least patching. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 13 persons. 13 people completed patching, right? What about others? Abdul, you also completed, right? Bob also completed, I guess. What about others? Chandra, Daniel, Dinesh, Kusma, I guess she completed. Lakshmi, I guess you also completed, right, Lakshmi? Please unmute and let me know, guys. It's important. Tanuja, have you completed the patching? Shiva, Satish, Sazal. Any issues, any challenges, these people? Any reason why you're unable to patch? Any errors you got, please? Please unmute and let me know, guys. Nothing will happen, okay? Just let me know what is the reason why you're unable to patch the servers. We have 2 days time, Saturday and Sunday. Okay, that's fine. If you are not interested to patch, no issues. Right. My system is trouble. Okay, fine. Done patching. Okay, Muthu, Lakshmi, no. Okay. Today recovers. Okay, Chandra. No problem. Okay, fine. Right, so let me start the VM. Any questions till now? So in the last class, we discussed about the patching, right? So how to patch the server. Yes.
Shouldn't I find installer folder in my Windows?
Installer, we cannot directly see, sir. Okay, that will be usually in the hidden mode. You can type like this in the run. Okay, C Windows installer. C Windows like this. You have to directly. Okay. Open the folder directly. You cannot see. Okay, it will be usually it will be in the hidden mode. If you go to this PC, okay, and program file Windows, directly you cannot see. Okay, you can see with these names only. IE. Okay, if you want to open directly, just open run, type Windows installer. Okay, in that way you can see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other questions, guys? Any other questions, doubts? Right. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let me start the VM. So today we'll discuss about the security concept, very important concept, security. Okay, so what and all things we are going to cover under security? What is meant by principle? What is meant by securable. Okay, we have some terminologies. What is a login? What is a user? Okay, so we have different terminologies. Okay, right. So we are going to discuss all those things today, right? How security will work. Earlier we discussed, right, Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication. Yes, Chandrakant, let me give you the recording permissions. And Chandrakant, okay. When you join Chandrakant, what time you joined? Okay.
Sorry, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, yes, yes. You
Yeah, sir.
can.
Restarted the machines actually.
What happened?
Restarted the machines actually.
You
It's not
started
able
the
to start, sir.
machine. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's not able to start actually. My
Mm,
desk. I'm having a desktop actually.
okay, then you have to plan at least 6:45 like that. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay, so in the last time while installing SQL Server, we have authentication modes, right? Two types of authentication: Windows authentication, SQL Server authentication. So how this security will work, how Windows authentication will work, how SQL Server authentication will work, what is meant by authentication, what is meant by authorization, what is meant by principal, what is meant by securable, what is meant by login, what is meant by user, all these things, all these terminologies we are going to discuss today. Okay. So before going into the discussion, let's see how authentication will work. Okay, how the authentication will work. First of all, what is the difference between authentication and authorization, guys? Authentication means what? And authorization. What is the difference between these two? Okay, authorization means having access on some resources is called authorization. Okay, having access on some resources is called authorization, right? So if you go to any shopping malls and all, there you can see separate power rooms and all. In the ground floor you can see separate power rooms and all. On the top of that, like the door, you can see the door, right? That power room door. On the top of the door, okay, you can see one small blue color text: authorized entry only, right? Have you ever seen this message at any place? Authorized entry only, right? So authorized entry only means what? Those who are accessing the shopping mall, not all people are allowed to go inside that room. Only authorized people. Even though people are working in the shopping mall, there are a lot of shops will be there. Even though people are working in the shopping malls, in those people also not all people are going to access that room. Depends upon the responsibility. If he is managing the power room and all, he should be an electrician. Okay, only those who are managing that power room, only they are eligible to enter into that room. Authorized entry only means that guy is having access on that resource. Okay, so who is going to access? Yes, in the hospitals and a lot of places you can see, even in your computer companies also you can see server rooms. You can see authorized entry only, no one can allow inside that room. Those who have access on those rooms, depends upon their job responsibilities, they only can enter into that room. They are authorized people. Even though you are working in that same company, you are not able to handle the servers, you are not able to handle the Windows machines and all. It's the work of Windows guys. So who is the authorized persons here? Only Windows people are authorized person. Having access on some resources. So what is the resource here, guys? Can anyone tell me in this power room example, in the shopping mall power room example, what is the resource? What is the resource, guys? Power room. Okay, that power room is the resource. Which resource you are accessing? I am accessing the power room. That power room is the resource. Having access on that, okay, resource is called authorization. Okay, having access on that resource, having access on any resource is called authorization. It might be a power room, it might be a, okay, server room, it might be a we can store all the records, right? It's a secured room. Okay, so it depends upon the responsibility to responsibility, it depends upon the job to job, the resources are going to be changed. Simply authorization means having access on some resources. That resource might be a database in SQL Server, that resource might be a SQL Server, that resource might be a database, that resource might be a table. Clear, guys? Having access on some resources, we can call it as authorization, right? Clear. Fine. So imagine you have access on that server room. Imagine we'll go with the server room. Not all people can enter inside the server room, right? Only specific people can enter inside that particular server room, right? So how it is going to manage the security? Imagine you want to enter into the server room. Can you directly open the door and you can go inside the server room? Is it possible? Usually, how you are going to manage how your company is going to manage the security, right? So we'll have extra security, right? We'll have extra security. The door will be locked always. It won't be open like a main door. It won't be open. It will be locked always. So if anyone wants to go inside that room, what we are going to do? There are a lot of methods are there. Sometimes you have to flash your ID card. It will be unlocked. Sometimes you have to give your biometric. It will be unlocked. Sometimes you have to enter the key. It will be unlocked. Sometimes it will detect your face by using face recognition softwares. It will be unlocked. Means multiple ways are there to unlock the door. Okay. So authentication, that is called authentication. Authentication means what? Verifying the username and password. Okay, means whether the proper person is accessing this resource or not, right? Verifying or validating, that is called authentication. Okay, authentication means what? Imagine simple Gmail example. Okay, so you have a Gmail account. You are authorized to use Gmail account. Agree? If you don't have Gmail account, you are not authorized to use Gmail account. So here you are authorized to use Gmail account. Fine, it's good. But when you open Gmail, it will ask username and password, right? So you are going to give your username and password. Once you give the username and password, your Gmail servers will verify whether you gave proper username and password or not. Your Gmail servers will validate whether proper person is accessing or not. How it will know? It doesn't know anything. Whether I'm accessing your Gmail account, it doesn't know. Okay, I'm accessing Dinesh Gmail account. It doesn't know. It will know only whether I gave proper username and password or not. Agree, everyone? Authentication means verifying or validating the username and password is called authentication. Authorization means having access on some resource is called authorization. Is it clear, guys? Authentication and authorization. So we have two types of authentications, guys. Why we are going to call it as authentication? Okay, Windows authentication and mixed mode authentication. Authentication means what? Verifying the username and password, means correct user is connecting to the server or not. That is called authentication. We have two types of authentication in SQL Server. We have two types of authentication. Okay, one is Windows authentication and second one is mixed mode authentication. Okay, so mixed mode means Windows plus SQL authentication, right? So we have two types of authentications in SQL. So means in two ways your SQL server is going to authenticate you. In two ways your SQL server is going to verify whether the correct user is logging in or not. Agree? Is it clear, guys? So before doing that, let me connect to my server. I just turned on the laptop the server, right? So this is my server, Azure VM. And again, guys, same concept, same thing for on-prem VMs also. On-prem VMs means your Oracle virtual VMs and all. You can call it as on-prem VMs. Concept is same, okay? Only the server place is going to be different. For Azure, it is in Azure data center. On-prem means that will be there in your laptop. Okay, so there is no difference, guys. Just a minute, let me put the charging. Right. Okay, so let me connect to the server. Opening Management Studio. Meantime, let me open this diagram. Right, okay. So what about this server? Right. So if you see here, remember it's very important, very important. If you don't understand, let me know again, no problem. I'll explain second time also. Right. So whenever you just logged into the Windows server by using B41 admin, right? My username is what? B41 admin. Agree? My username is B41 admin. So whenever you just log in, this is Windows level server authentication. This is Windows level, Windows machine level. Remember, this is Windows level. Why? Because you are entering into the Windows server using Windows user account. B41 admin, where it will be there. Forget about SQL Server as of now. How this will verify whether B41 admin is a proper user or not? Once I gave the IP address, it just asked me for username and password, right? So if I, while connecting, if you see here, while connecting, right, what is the IP address? Control V. And while connecting, if you see here, it will ask the username and password. Okay, you have to provide username and password. So where it will verify once I gave B41 admin, okay, B41 admin, and once I give the password of this user, right? So where it will verify? It will verify whether this user is there or not in this machine 4.69. Okay, where it will store all the users information in the Windows machine. There is one option called LUSR MGR. Open your run LUSR mgr.msc. Local, L means local, U means user, USR means user. Okay, local user manager. LUSR mgr means local user manager. All the users information, Windows level, forget about SQL Server as of now. All the users information will be stored here. If you see here B41 admin, that's why I am able to log in with B41 admin. If someone deleted this user, I cannot log in with B41 admin. Why? Because there is no login for me. How can I log into the Windows machine? Agree, everyone? Is it clear how I am allowing to enter into the Windows server? Is it clear, guys? Please unmute and let me know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Shanmugh.
Yes,
Clear,
sir.
right? So
Yeah.
as I have my account in the lusrmgr.msc b41 admin, that's why I'm able to log into the Windows machine using b41 admin and the password. So whenever I gave the username and password, my Windows machine first it will verify here. Okay, Windows user is there or not. What is the username? b41 admin. Okay, in this list b41 admin is there. Yes, he is there. What is the password of this b41 admin? Something around one password is there. So it will verify whenever I provide the password, it will verify, okay, with the current password of this b41 admin. Okay, chalo, password is matching. Okay, I'm able to log into the server. It will allow us it will allow us to log in into the Windows machine. This is called Windows authentication, guys. Windows level authentication. Windows authentication means what? Windows level authentication. In the Windows level, it will verify whether proper user is accessing your Windows machine or not. If anyone deleted my account from here, I cannot log in. Or else if someone, say for example, we have almost all 30 members in this batch, I want to give access to Praneeth. What I have to do? Praneeth wants to log in as a Windows user. So I have to create a user for Praneeth here. Okay, I have to create a user for Praneeth. So if I want to give access, I have to create a user for Praneeth. I have to give one password while creating. Okay, and then okay, you can uncheck these options. This is how we are going to create users. User cannot change password. Password never expires. If you create automatically Praneeth user. Now Praneeth also can log into this machine using Praneeth also means not Praneeth exactly. With the name of Praneeth, I can also log in, right? Agree? Gmail won't detect whether you are accessing the Gmail or other person is accessing the Gmail. Gmail will detect simply whether you gave proper username or not. That might be your username. That might be your friend username. That might be your brother username, sister username, someone usernames. It will simply detect whether you gave proper username or not. Is it clear, guys? So this is called means Windows authentication. If Praneeth wants to log into this machine, what he should have? A user account should be created in the Windows level. Then only he can connect to the machine. He can log into the Windows machine. Agree? Right? Fine. So whenever you just open, see now come to the SQL Server side. Okay. So I just logged in as B41 admin, right? I just logged in as B41 admin here, right? So I just used B41 username. I just logged in as B41 admin. The meeting is going to close in 10 minutes, nothing to worry. Okay. So before closing, I'll let you know. In case if I forget, just please connect immediately with the same link. Fine. So whenever I just logged into the B41 admin, whatever applications you are using, either it might be a SQL Server application, it might be SSMS, it might be a different applications, all are there with the name of this user, B41 admin. Okay, right. In the same way, when you open SSMS with Windows authentication, it is showing batch 41/B41 admin. Why I am unable to edit this username? Why? Because it is already mapped with the user that you have already logged in this machine. That's why I'm unable to change the username. If you choose Windows authentication, you cannot change the username. I cannot keep as Pradeep. Pradeep also, sorry, Praneeth is also there, but I don't see Praneeth here. If I want to get Praneeth here, guys, tell me what I have to do. Windows authentication, I have to get Praneeth. What I have to do, guys?
Authentication mode, you have to select SQL Server authentication.
No.
Hmm.
You have to log in your VM through Praneeth name.
Very good. Excellent. Okay. How I got B41 admin? As I logged in here with B41 admin in the user, that's why B41 means this B41 admin opened the SSMS. So that's why he got his name. I asked about Windows authentication. You can change it to SQL Server authentication, but it's not the way. You cannot give Praneeth username here. SQL Server authentication is completely different. Windows authentication means if user is there, if user is present in the Windows level, that is Windows authentication. Okay, SQL Server authentication means if user is created in the SQL Server level, that is SQL authentication. I haven't created any user for Praneeth in the SQL Server. I just created a user in the Windows level. Okay, so I don't want to change my authentication. Let's talk about Windows authentication only as of now. Why I got this B41 admin? As B41 logged into this machine and he opened SSMS, that's why automatically it took his name. Agree everyone? Is it clear, guys? How I got this B41 admin here?
Yes, Shinu.
Right?
Yes.
Fine. So now I have to get Praneeth. What I have to do, I can do in two ways. One is I have to log off from this server. I have to log in as Praneeth. Okay. Second option is also there. What is the second option? Can anyone tell me? Anyone having any idea what is the second option without log off?
DP with my username, Praneeth username
That
and
is also
credentials.
same. That means you are logged in with Praneeth. That's it. Without RDP,
Yeah.
logging into the machine means what? We have to do RDP only as this is Azure VM. Agree? Right? So without Praneeth, without logged into this machine as a Praneeth, okay, now I want to change this username. How can I change this username? Can anyone tell me, having any idea on this? Just try it. How it is possible? I have to get Praneeth here, batch 41/B41 Praneeth, not B41 Praneeth, just Praneeth. How I can get it?
Yeah, Praneeth account, sir.
I have to.
You add another account.
That's okay. I have to add Praneeth account in the SQL Server, then only I can log in. But before doing that, at least I'll get the error. That's not a problem. But here I have to get Praneeth. Any other way? Very good, Fayak. Very good. Excellent. Fayak. Okay. You have to open this management studio with a different user. Okay. There is an option called we can open the applications with a different user. Okay. How to open? Right click here. Okay. You will get this option again. Again, right click. Sometimes you can see run as different user. If you don't see run as different user, what you can do? Okay. Hold shift button plus right click again. Hold shift button and right click again. You can see run as different user. Now it will ask which user. Okay. Now you can mention Praneeth user. As Praneeth is already created in the Windows level, that's why I can try with the Praneeth also. Okay. Let me give password. While creating Praneeth user, I gave one password, right? That password here I have to give. If your username and password is correct, one more management studio will open. There you can see Praneeth name. Okay, so but usually in the organization we don't do like this. But again, without logging off, to save the time, you can use any application. Why? Because sometimes what happened, will give access to the users. Okay, will give access to the users. So while logging into the SQL server or while logging into the machine, okay, instead of log out from the current access, what we are going to ask users, okay, no problem, you can use different account also without logging off. You can do this. If you see here, Windows authentication, Praneeth is there. Why? I just opened this application, SSMS application with run as a different user. How I'll get the run as different user option? I have to go to the management studio, shift, just some first time you have to right click on it. Okay, first you have to right, or else from here also you can do. Okay, SSMS, just type SSMS. Right now you can see, right, just right click here. You can see lot of options: unpin, pin, open in window, run as different. See here, run as administrator, run as different user. Okay, select this run as different user. Again, you will get this window. Now you have to give Praneeth username and Praneeth, okay, password and all. See, I want to give one more name. Okay, this time let's go with Fayak. Okay, Fayak, and let me give the password. Right. If I click OK, what will happen, guys? Tell me. I need answers from everyone. If I click OK, what will happen?
Authentication will fail.
Authentication is failed.
It fails.
Authentication is failed.
I need responses from everyone, please.
User authentication failed.
Why it will be failed?
Because he don't have access.
It
That
cannot add any
His
user.
username is
There
not
is no
created.
such user.
Very good. Excellent.
Sir.
Excellent. Here there is no FIAC, so definitely it will be failed. As I have Praneeth, it was succeeded. Now if I click OK, see here the username or password is incorrect. The username or password is incorrect. So this is how it will work. Okay, so it will work if you have user in the Windows user account section. If there is no Windows user, then okay, you cannot log in with the same name using Windows authentication. Okay, guys, is it clear? Windows authentication means in the Windows level user should be there. Agree this point, everyone? In the Windows level user should be there. Those who have user accounts in the Windows level, they will only can use this Windows authentication option. Okay, so let's discuss with the pictorial representation. Okay, let's go with the pictorial representation now. Let me find the server. This is the server. Imagine this is the server. How SQL Server authentication will work, how Windows authentication will work, I'll tell you now. Again, same concept. Okay, so here this is my Windows server. Imagine. Let's go with SQL Server. Okay, so this is my SQL server. Okay, right. Imagine this is my SQL server. Or else let me do one thing. Let me go with this one. This will be good. Okay, I'll explain again. Right, this is my SQL server. Okay, fine. This is my Windows server and this is my what is the Windows server IP address, guys? 20.115.14.16, just 69. Okay, so what I can do, let me go with this. Let me control A. Already I guess it was copied. Okay, let me paste it here. Done. Okay, the meeting is going to close now, guys. Those who joined today, you have to rejoin again with the same link. Okay, right, let me reopen the meeting link. Please join with the same link.